Good, happy Tuesday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast. Let's get started. First up, we're following some breaking news. Lee man, 3 others on plane missing over Bahamas. A U.S. Coast Guard helicopter crew has located a debris field approximately 15 miles east of Bahamas. The search for survivors continues. Authorities were searching Tuesday in the Bahamas for a small, overdue plane with 4 people from the U.S. on bound, including 2 children. The U.S. Coast Guard says the twin-engine MU-2B was east of the island of Ethiopia on Monday when air traffic control in Miami lost radar and radio contact with the plane. It was en route from Puerto Rico and never made it to its destination of Titsville, along the northeastern coast of Florida. The people on board the plane were identified as Nathan, 53, of Lee, New Hampshire, and Jennifer of New York, along with her 4-year-old and 10-year-old sons. Their plane was at about 24,000 feet when air traffic control lost contact. There's no indication of significant adverse weather at the time. Ulrich was listed as the pilot, but it was not known who was flying at the time, Kelly said. Blum owned the plane through a consulting company she owned, according to New York State and Aviation records. Coast Guard aircraft were searching along with Custom and Border Patrol and Royal Bahama Defense Force about 40 miles east of Ethiopia. A Coast Guard cutter was dispatched to the area and was expected to arrive later Tuesday to assist with the search. Search for missing student expands to neighboring town. Let's take a listen to this video from WCVB Boston.
News Center 5 with Maria Stefanos and Ed Harding. ABC World News Tonight with David Muir. Reporting to you what's happening now. Preparing you for what's next. So you know. We begin tonight at WCVB News Center 5. ABC World News Tonight.
Get right to News Center 5, Sarah Kanji, who's live in Franklin with the latest on this search. Sarah?
Erica and Antoinette, even more resources, more manpower being used today. Take a look. At the end of this road is the command post, and beyond that is the wooded area. That is where they're focusing on, where they found sneakers and a shirt belonging to Michael Dougherty.
I have a 30-year-old son.
Carrying muffins and a heavy heart, Bree Hall of Medway delivers some sustenance for the search crews.
These guys are out here working hard, hoping for the best outcome.
Crews from around the area returned to Franklin this morning for day 3 of the search.
We started off at about 5:30 this morning.
20-year-old Michael Dougherty was last seen at a party early Sunday morning. His friends say he had less than a mile to walk home. Clear skies today are making it easier to search from the air, and they can get a better look at a marshy brook that police are focusing on after finding Dougherty's sneakers and shirt.
Well, we found one article of clothing, a shoe and a shirt on the northern edge, and then we found another shoe on the southern edge. So that kind of helped us, you know, focus our search.
Additional manpower from around the region joined the effort today, many with special equipment for the swampy terrain. All are carrying out the mission to help the Doherty family.
They're devastated. I can't even imagine what these poor parents are going through.
Now, adding to the mystery about what happened, Franklin police say that the two sneakers were found separately, and the condition of the sneakers lead them to believe they did not wash ashore from that brook. So again, it's unclear exactly what happened to Michael Doherty. Investigators have talked with 30 people who were at that party. Still, no foul play is suspected.
Okay, and there you go on that report. We will keep you updated on this story as more information comes available into our newsroom. Judge sentenced man in Portland beating death. Let's take a listen to this video from WMTW News 8 in Maine.
Maine is in the midst of a massive opioid epidemic. These narcotics don't start here, but this drug corridor keeps the heroin flowing into our state. Today, first at 4, no community is immune.
Most people who come to visit here, I doubt whether they have any clue
Why this Bar Harbor doctor had no warning before his son's fatal overdose.
Today at 4 on Channel 8 WMTW.
See the first 2 parts of our heroin supply chain series at our State of Addiction page on WMTW.com and our mobile app.
The 2 men convicted of beating a Portland man to death, sentenced to 12.5 years in prison. Able to Show Me pleaded guilty to manslaughter last June for the death of Freddie Ochoa. Ochoa was punched and kicked for hours in his Cumberland Avenue apartment back in 2015. In court today, To Show Me apologized for the crime.
I cannot make it right, but I pray to God every night, asking for forgiveness, and God to place forgiveness in the hearts of the one I have afflicted.
To Show Me will also serve 4 years of probation and pay more than $8,000 in restitution. He has already been behind bars for nearly 2 years.
Okay, and there you go on that report. Now let's take a look at your markets and see where your stock market closed for this evening. And here's a live look at your stock market. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the red and went down. Your S&P 500 index closed in the red and went down. Your Nasdaq closed in the green and went up. Our USS 2K closed in the green and went up, and VIX closed in the green and went up. Nasdaq notches 3-day winning streak. Stocks closed mixed. U.S. equities closed mixed on Tuesday as investors continued to shrug off news coming out of Washington. Trump didn't know source of information shared with Russia, advisors say. Let's take a listen to this video from ABC News.
Master, to put a finer point on it, is there now an an active investigation into how this information was leaked? And can you tell us about who's running that investigation? And I also would like to ask you, given that President Trump is now going to be meeting face-to-face with literally dozens of foreign leaders, if there are sensitivities to his discretion in what sort of information to decide to declassify, how is that something that you are advising him ahead of this foreign trip?
Yeah. Well, I mean, there are no sensitivities in terms of me or anybody who's been with the president and with many of these engagements. He shares information in a way that is wholly appropriate. And I should just make maybe the statement here that the president wasn't even aware, of where this information came from. He wasn't briefed on the source and method of the information either. So I'm sorry, that's going to have to be the last question because we do have the president of Turkey coming.
Okay, and there you go on that video. And that did it for the Riley King Newscast right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your Tuesday night. I'll see you back here tomorrow with more news. Bye, everyone.